How do you handle a nipping parrot? Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond. If you love parrots half as much as I do, welcome to my channel. I have 18 species of nibblers and biters. I love parrots. I love talking about parrots. And I love helping you out to try to have a blissful bond with your parrot, because there is nothing better other than the love of family. Because parrots can be like your best friends. Now, if you have a nipping parrot, what do you do? One of the problems is, by their very nature, you have to understand and really, I feel like, respect the fact that parrots have this monster beak and they use it. Their monster beak is made in part for doing things like breaking nuts open or destroying wood. In other words, it is their nature, it's by their design, it's like innately ingrained, I think, in their very bones to bite and to bite at things and to nibble at things. So, depending on the parrot, how you deal with it can be differently, because a part of what needs to happen is your parrot needs to learn that wood is for biting and you're not, that nuts are for cutting open, but you're not. Now, I made a video on the 3 basic reasons why parrots bite, and so in my signature down below is a link, I believe, to that, and if not, I'll put it in there. Come here, you want to step up? But one of the things that you have to understand is that some of their biting makes sense. For example, if your parrot is defending itself, it should bite. I mean, that's a natural response, and you have to more so work with why they're defending. If you have a young parrot, then one of the things that happens is they do go through a teething phase. Another thing is they do things like preen. She's just preening me. There's no way she's not going to do that. She's showing me that she loves me. Whether or not it hurts me is completely irrelevant. So I'm going to undo my bun, have my hair a mess for the video, lovely, and let her preen me, because that's her instinct. Of course, while she's preening me, I can't show you what I wanted to show you, but you need to do one of a couple of things, because I've had a couple of people write to me and say that they got a mini Hans macaw, or a parrotlet, or an Indian ringneck, and they're bitey. So my older birds tend to be less bitey. I think that they learn some of the strength of their bite, and they learn, you know, to really, they mature about the biting, and I think that they get better with time if they're treated properly and if they kind of get to develop the right way. I think that my macaws are an excellent example for showing you that you have to be able to sometimes take your parrot by the beak. Now, macaws are notorious for knowing that they're big and knowing that they have a big beak and bullying people because of it. And so I can't show you right now, but I literally will hook my finger on their beak. It's brave. It is. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm not saying it's the right thing for you to do. But what I'm trying to explain to you is you have to sort of experiment and find the way that works for you, but you have to gently and lovingly show your parrot who's in charge. I will grab my macaws by their beak and hold, you know, kind of pull up, because it kind of shows them that I'm in charge of their beak. Not that I really am, but in other words, it's my way of saying, hey, I'm the leader here, I'm the alpha, let's behave. I do not hurt them in any way, shape, or form. That's the last thing I would do. I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on my parrots and on my macaws specifically. I would not hurt them, so please don't misperceive me. You can see, oh sorry, was that too fast? You can see that that beak is in perfect working order. There isn't a thing wrong with it. Not a cut on her, you know, cheek between her mandibles, nothing. That beak is in perfect beauty parlor functioning order. Now, our macaws don't tend to bite us, and I attribute that to the fact that I don't brush my hair. No, I'm kidding. I attribute it to the fact that my husband's really good at coming out here, and this is, I'm going to show you a quick panoramic view. This is a part of what we have spent some of those thousands of dollars on, redoing the lanai so that the macaws had this space to fly around. And so he comes out and he lets them, you could say, free fly within the lanai. We don't free fly outside of the lanai. They're not trained for it. We don't have the time, and we're not willing to put forward the risk, but we drool when we see other people free flying their birds. We think it's incredible, but we also think that our macaws really have an incredible setting out here. They see other wild birds flying by. They have a lake to stare at. I mean, they're so thrilled. You should hope, I think, for such a good life where you're fed, you're taken care of, you're put out to play in the sun, and I mean, they've just got it really good. But again, what do? You have to kind of figure out what's going to work for you. For example, for my macaws, I will hook in and grab them by the beak because that's their tool. Hey, see what I mean? No, be gentle. And I'm at the wrong angle to grab. Be gentle with me. Be gentle. But you can see how I'm telling her, look, you can bite me. That's not going to stop me. That's not how we're going to get along. We're going to get along with you preening me. We're going to get along lovingly that way. Now, Kailani, my Catalina macaw right here, she likes to be the preener. She likes to be the one doing this. And she'll do that to our other macaw that you saw before, who is Cami, our Harlequin macaw. I can try to pet Kailani and she will let me, but she doesn't really want to be pet. She really wants to be the one doing the petting, so to speak. Whereas Cami, on the other hand, the Harlequin, man, she's a glutton, and you can't give her enough pets, you can't give her enough love, although she will bring her beak forward. And that is some of the nature of a parrot, and you have to know that before you get a parrot, because you just can't take that out of it. I mean, a parrot that doesn't bite, doesn't have feathers, and isn't a parrot, it's just, good, bad, right, or wrong, that's what a parrot is. And anyone with a parrot will tell you that. It doesn't mean that they all bite. It doesn't mean that they're all going to eat you up alive. You can see I have no cuts. However, I'm going to give you another example. I tamed a green cheek conure. He was a year and a half old, which is a fine age. When they're really young, you hardly even have to tame them. You just love them, and they generally love you back, but it doesn't mean that they don't nip at you. So at a year and a half, they're still fairly easy to tame. I put a harness on him, which wasn't easy, and I did it every day, which wasn't easy. But by the second or third day, the third or the fourth day, he kind of started to let me. Getting him out of his cage wasn't easy. I had vampire marked hands for a little while. In other words, I had these little bites all over my hands where he had bitten me. It's, is that the best way to do it? I can't say, but I had to put the harness on him. And when I put the harness on him, and we hung out, he very quickly, when I removed him from his familiar environment, and he very quickly started to realize that nothing bad would happen when we were hanging out, number one. Number two, I always had seeds, which weren't in his cage. So maybe hanging out with me wasn't so bad. At the end of around 7 to 10 days, he was not on the harness and just cuddling and sleeping with me. How did I do it? What was my magic secret ingredient? It was time. I spent a lot of time with him. I was spending like 4 to 6 hours a day with him for about 7 days. And every day I spent at least some time with him, but I think at least 5 of the days it was 4 to 6 hours. And like I said, he was on the harness, and I went out for walks, and so he wanted to stay with me because I was the most familiar place. So I put him in a position where he was like, okay, she is familiar. Okay, she is providing me with food. And all of a sudden, I let him redefine me as a positive thing. So then he stopped biting. And then when I'd go to his cage, he was looking at me like, oh, is it time? Is it time? It changed everything. I endured the biting. Should you endure the biting? Again, no, that's not necessarily what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, every species of parrot is different, and every parrot is different. Kailani was harder to get to learn that we're not chew toys. We're not wooden toys. I had to work with her more so. Cami, She never really went through a big bitey phase with us, but she will, like, when it's like, okay, come on, it's time for you to come in from it for a nap, because midday they like to take a nap, and she'll bite. She won't, I will say beak instead of bite. In other words, my definition of beaking is, or nipping is grabbing onto you, but not, and maybe it hurts a little, but not cutting skin. And I consider biting and they cut your skin and you bleed kind of thing. So she won't cut our skin, but it's a nasty, like that, just like that, because that's the reaction she wants to get from us, so that we back off and we don't force her to go in the house. She might be sleepy like a young, almost like a, maybe not quite a toddler, but maybe a toddler, who is like tired and cranky, and she's looking at us and she's like putting her foot up because she wants to step up and she wants to come in and take her nap, but she doesn't want us to pick her up. Do you remember, if you've been around toddlers, how they do that? They're really tired and they kind of want you to put them down, but they don't want you to put them down. And so she does that. And when she does that, she's definitely doing some of her biting. So you can see their nature is to explore with their beak. Their nature is to destroy things with their beak. And now I've got two of them. No, I don't want you destroying my skirt. Instead, let's watch you fly. Are you ready? Woo! Watching them fly is just phenomenal. So it just depends on your parrot. One of the best ways to I think in the most quickest way, kind of burn through the biting, is to spend a lot of time with them. I had one lady who said that she had her parrotlet was biting, and she spent the first whole day with her parrotlet and with Millet in her hand, and she said by day 2 he like never bit her again, because she spent all day with him, showing him that she had Millet, showing him that she was going to just be constantly and consistently kind and loving. And you know, people say don't react when they bite you. For me, that's very hard to do, but I do my best. But to me, it's more important to show them that I'm not afraid of the beak. Did you see she just put my fingers in her beak because she wanted to step up? She's like, what's my sister doing? What's she doing? I want to do it. I want to eat your clothes. And I'm like, they're not made out of wood. Please don't eat my clothes. Hey, sweetie, you want to fly? You want to fly? Let's see if you want to fly. Woo! And she flew onto my phone. Not exactly what I had in mind. Now that I've been to the beauty parlor, she took the button off my skirt. You see that? So, and now the other one just landed on my phone. No, come on, step up. Thank you. So, I would say, okay, go here then. One of the most important things is get a hairbrush, go to the beauty parlor, and, oh, this was one of my favorite skirts, and now the button's missing. This is what they do. She's not being mean, she's not being nasty. It didn't hurt. Of course it didn't hurt me. It may have hurt my skirt. Can you stop eating my skirt now, please? One of the most important things is to show them that you're not afraid, and to show them that you are going to rule with a gentle, loving hand. Whoa! And really spend time with them, especially initially, so that you guys develop your relationship. Okay? She's biting me, or she's beaking me, and so I'm grabbing her by the beak. Step up. No. Step up. Good girl. There you go. And so you just have to figure out what's going to work for you and your bird, so that you can have a really blissful, loving experience at the beauty salon. And by the way, this is why my curls turn into this. If you have any questions about trying to keep your hair from looking like mine, don't ask me. If you have any questions about parrots, please be sure to comment below. And if your parrot is stressed out, please be sure to get TINK'S must-have Parrot Relief, which is CBD in hemp oil. The hemp oil has the proper balance of omegas for you and your parrot, so it's highly beneficial. Helps support an immune system. See that? She came over with the beak. She's not hurting me at all. And so I'm like going, we're not beaking. That's not how we're going to get along. Nope. That's not how we're going to get along. And these are my Mac Trouble twins. You could see monkey see, monkey do. When this monkey does something, that monkey follows. If you have any questions about parrots or any comments, please be sure to comment below, and I will catch you in the next video where I am being adored at the beauty salon. Catch you next time.